If you if your only obstacle is your refusal to believe that there's greatness in you, I'll take that again as we start now. 1 minute, guys. Okay. What if your only obstacle is your refusal to believe that there is greatness in you? What if your what if your silence is costing someone their breakthrough? What if the generation after you is only as great as your willingness to go first? Are you so busy surviving that you forget you were built to build? These questions resonate with you. Welcome to today's topic. Thank you very much, everyone. Welcome to today's topic, Inspire Your World. This topic is for you, and I welcome you all to all our 50,000 fans on TikTok and over 1,500 on Facebook, over 14, I think about 20,000 on Facebook, and about 16 or so thousand on Instagram. A big thank you to you all. You're all welcome. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. You're all welcome. We do this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. We try the best to keep the time. Currently, right now, in China, is 2:27 a.m. So we're doing this from Shanghai, to be precise, in China. So you are all welcome. Before we dive straight into it, please, I'd like you all to share this live stream so more people can be a part of it. And don't forget to follow me. If you've never followed me before, please, everyone that I can see, please ensure that you follow this page. Click on the follow button and follow it so that you don't miss out on the future sessions. Also, turn on your notification button so that you are notified on what is happening or when I go live. Please, let's try and get us up to as many likes as possible, be it on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. There should be a like button. Keep tapping it if you like what you're hearing, all right? So remember that on my profile, you have a free ebook, Roadmap to Financial Freedom, and there's also a paid ebook, Idea to Shortlet Business. And if you want to have a conversation with me for, let's say, about 10 minutes or so, send me a DM and we can book a conversation, or there's a link to book that conversation, and let's make that happen. If you want to join our community, it should be a QR code on the flyer that brought you here. Remember, my book is the upcoming book, The Migration Mirage, Why Nations Lose Tomorrow and Lineages Fade, is still in progress. So we'll let you know as soon as the waiting list becomes available so you can be a part of it. Okay? Do well to check all across all my social media platforms. Go through. You can see videos of different types. Thank you very much, Peter. Very much appreciated. Sponsorship. Remember that this channel is always, this live show is sponsored by The Hey You Love, by D610 Homes, and by Love Family Podcast. So do well to check them out. All right. Okay. Why do I do this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, or irrespective of where I am across the world? Right now, I'm in Shanghai, China, to be precise. Is just to let us to stir up a dissatisfaction in our mind within us, because there's a lot that we can be that we have not yet become. Is to stir up those things and to bring out the best in us. That's one of the main reasons why I do this. And also inspired because of the scripture in the Bible that says, I've seen servants ride on horses while princes walk on the ground like servants. So that's from Ecclesiastes 10 verse 7. Thank you, Afafa. So this is just to say, where we ought to be, we're not yet there. The Bible wants us to be. This is where it wants us to be. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Tom. All right. I'm not a guru. I will always say this. I'll never get tired of saying it. I only teach the little things that Christ has done in my life. I'm here to provide guidance, personal guidance I desperately needed that I never got. So let's say things I wish I knew 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I'm here to share those things to you. And hopefully, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm also talking to myself, challenging myself, and inspiring myself too. And I hope that you learn a thing or two from this. Last week, we talked about more than money. And that thing that is more than money is a good name. But this week, we're going to give attention to the need to inspire your world. The need to inspire your world. So our topic for today, just like I mentioned earlier, is inspire your world. Inspire your world. Before I get into today's topic, I need you to understand one thing. Your greatness is not just yours to keep. I take that again. Your greatness is not just yours to keep. The moment you dim your light to make others comfortable, you rob the next generation of the blueprint. You know, the moment you dim that light, you're trying to be comfortable, you rob the next generation of what? Their blueprint. So we need to bear those things in mind. Greatness is not a relay race. These are some of the things that I want us to bear as to start. Okay, thank you very much. Greatness is a relay race. Sorry, greatness is a relay race, not a solo sprint. Greatness is a relay race, not a solo sprint. You are never meant to be great alone. You're never meant to be great alone. You are meant to pass on the baton. James Brown didn't just entertain. He showed us a young Michael Jackson where mastery looked like. So Michael Jackson accredited or what's it called? Gave a lot of credit to James Brown as his inspiration, and even while he was still alive, and while both of them were alive, he did acknowledge that. I've seen like videos on YouTube. You can go watch for yourself. Michael Jackson didn't just copy James Brown. He caught the fire and carried the torch further than anyone could imagine. If you guys have not seen the movie, I recommend you see it. It's amazing. Then there's another person called Fela Kuti. He didn't just make music, but his hands on Afrobeats. He's a pioneer for all the Afrobeats you can hear in Nigeria and other parts of Africa. Now today we talk about Burna Boy, today we talk about Whiskey, today we talk about Davido. It all started from someone called Fela Anikulapo Kuti. When you hear of writers or literal authors in Africa, one of the foremost people that started this thing are people like Chinua Achebe, people like Wole Soyinka, people like Super Nikwesi and all that stuff. These people brought courage, to give courage to those that are writing today. Wole Soyinka being one of the first Nobel laureates in literature, and that door opened for other African writers who dared to dream globally. Today we have all other names, and I'm sure you can think about that. Thank you very much, Rodney. So, and I would like us to bear that in mind as I also pour out this next thought to say, someone is watching you right now. Someone is watching you right now. Your child is watching how you handle pressure. Your younger colleague is watching whether you bet on yourself or whether you can believe in yourself. Your community is watching whether a person from their background can build something that is meaningful. We need to bear that in mind. We have examples upon example of people that have stood out in whatever they're doing, and that has inspired another generation, be it in elections, be it in politics, be it in business, So it's important that people are watching you. You don't need a stage to inspire. Your daily choices are already a sermon. You don't need a stage to inspire. Your daily choices are already a sermon. So whether you act or you don't act, people are learning from it. Thank you very much, Manachi. So next thing to bear in mind is that hiding your greatness is selfish. Hiding your greatness is selfish. We have been conditioned to stay small. Don't rock the boat. Just stand out. Just survive. I'm reminded of the Bible. In the Bible, if Peter had not stepped out to do what Jesus Christ told him when the waters were stirred up, he would never have known that it's possible to walk on water. So you hear, we're conditioned to stay small. That's what the society makes us understand. But survival was never the assignment. Significance was the most important thing. Survival was never the assignment. Significance was the most important. Thank you, Julia. And thank you, Barbara. There's a guy called Herbert Macaulay in Nigeria. He didn't just stay quiet. His boldness seeded Nigerian nationalism and everything that followed. Today, we talk about Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. When I went for an open day for my daughter in a school in Chelmsford, and we went into the English classroom, I saw that Chimamanda's books were one of the books in the English classroom. This is some lady from Nigeria, but her books are in schools, are being taught in schools in Britain. And I'm very sure when you look into her life, you begin to see that she was inspired by people like the likes of Chinua Achebe. She was inspired by maybe Wole Soyinka, Super Nikwesi, and more other writers. That's to show you the power of not hiding your light. The influence can go over. Today in Britain, Chimamanda's books, Half a Yellow Sun, Americana, and others are being used, being discussed, and being analyzed. I can tell you, even my own time, when I was in school literature, we read books from William Shakespeare. I'm sure the guy is gone long time ago, but when he was writing, he never knew that his books will become handouts or manuals that we use in secondary schools. So that's what I'm trying to say here. Hiding your greatness is selfish. So Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie refused to shrink her voice. And now young Africans, girls globally, see themselves differently. Every time you play small, you delete a chapter from someone else's story. Every time you play small, you delete a chapter from someone else's story. The question is, will you continue to do such? The next thing I want us to bear is that inspiration is a generational currency. Inspiration is a generational currency. Think lineage. I always say it. Think generational. Think generational. Think generational. What are you depositing into the generational account? What are you plotting for the next generation? We hear of Aliko Dangote. If he had not built businesses, he has defined what African ambition is and what it should look like on a global scale. I'm just if you don't know about him, just put him on the internet. He's Africa's richest man. His name is Aliko Dangote. He's built one of the finest refineries you can think of in the world, not in Africa, in the world, in Nigeria. Today, his filling station, his refinery is supplying jet fuels for the what do you call it, for planes of European companies. He supplies for Ethiopian Air and other companies because of the issues in Iran. What are we trying to say? If he had not started doing that stuff today, some other people in Africa wouldn't have gotten the inspiration. There are people like Tony Elumelu. They've institutionalized inspiration and they've turned it into a movement, and they are funding thousands of entrepreneurs across Africa. So my point is that wherever you are as a diaspora, you're not just there just for the sake of. I'm going to touch more on that. You understand me? We are supposed to inspired by the idea of coming back home to build our own country and make that home available for the next generation. Your greatness expressed becomes generational wealth. Your greatness expressed becomes generational wealth, not just financial, but spiritual, intellectual, and what? Cultural. So as we wrap this beginning aspect and I move on to the next one, my thoughts I want to share with you on this aspect is that stop waiting for permission. A lot of people keep waiting for it. Greatness doesn't have a waiting room. Stop shrinking in rooms where you're supposed to express yourself. You are built for those kind of rooms. You are built to own those rooms. Don't shrink to them. The world doesn't need another version of you playing it safe. No. It needs the full, unfiltered, unleashed version of you. Decide today, not tomorrow, not Monday, not after the next bill, but today. Step into that position, that thing that you are planning to. Step into it. Because history doesn't remember those who almost showed up. It crowns those who didn't. Who did it, sorry. It crowns those who did it. It's not saying, oh, who nearly. Whenever they play a World Cup, you only remember those that won. You don't remember the people that played runner-up or play a game. Now, so think about it. If James Brown had not expressed himself, would we have the Michael Jackson of today? And I can go on and on and on and on. The touch is in your hand. You need to run with that touch. So what does it mean? What does the word inspire mean? According to Oxford Dictionary, the word inspire means to fill someone with the urge or ability to do or feel something, especially something creative or of high quality. It says is to animate someone with a feeling, to breathe life and purpose into another. The Webster Dictionary defines it as to influence, to move, to guide by divine or supernatural inspiration, to exert an animating, thank you very much, enliven or exalting influence on someone. Look at this word. It says to breathe or blow into or upon. Mark on that one. To breathe or blow into or upon. So this word inspire is a Latin word that is Latin word called inspire. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Inspire. That's INSPIRE. Spirare. Inspire, pronouncing it right. It means to breathe into, to blow upon. That's what that word means. To breathe into, to blow upon. That's what that word means. That's where the word inspire came from. So the word from in, we got into, and from spire, we got to breathe. So that is a Latin word, and that's where we got that word. In other words, it means, the deeper meaning is, to inspire is literally to breathe your spirit into someone else. To breathe your spirit into someone else. That's why you see people say, I was inspired by this person. That person's spirit has gone into another person. It is not just motivation, it is transformation. It's not just motivation, it's what? Transformation. So, there's a guy called Harvey Mackay. Harvey Mackay once said, a mediocre person tells. A mediocre person tells. A good person explains. A good person explains. A superior person demonstrates. A great person inspires others to see for themselves. I take that again. A mediocre person tells. A good person explains. A superior person demonstrates. A great person inspires others to see for themselves. That is the words of Harvey Mackay. And the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, the purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived. That's one of the purpose. That's the purpose of what? Of a life, of life. Take that one again. Or let's move on. There's a quote, this quote, I like this quote. It says, if your action inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, you're a leader. If your action inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, you are a leader. This is words of John Quincy Adams. So because I'm in China, I'm going to touch on some Chinese proverbs, or we're going to be inspired today by China. The Chinese proverbs is quoted this way. It says, if your vision is for a year, plant wheat. If your vision is for 10 years, plant trees. If your vision is for a lifetime, plant people. I'll take that again. If your vision is for a year, plant wheat. If your vision is for 10 years, plant trees. If your vision is for a lifetime, plant people. That's a Chinese proverb. So, inspire your world, therefore, means every person in your orbit is waiting for you to breathe upon them. Your story will inspire. Your boldness will inspire. Your examples is someone else's oxygen. You need to do something about it. Your world, your family, your bloodline, your community rise when you excel greatness. As you are breathing, as you are acting, the great things are coming out of other people. So I hope that we're learning a thing or two. Before we go into the next one, please take a moment to share this live stream. Comment if you like what you're doing. If you have not followed me, please follow this page so you can learn more. Share this to somebody that is next so they can be a part. We have some for something odd minutes and they can join and be blessed by it. So we're going to learn. Since I'm in China, I just want us to be inspired by it. Even if not because I'm in China, but just let us be inspired by China because I'm fascinated by it. Every time I come to this country, one of the things I said to myself this time coming is that there's this bugging question: why is China so creative? And it's something that I said to myself that today I'll make sure I'm gonna find that out. All right, why is China so creative? All right, okay, so let's check this out. I've been asking these questions. I've been getting some. I've not yet gotten some, but I don't have to explain myself to you. If you follow me on social media, you better see the things I'm saying. It makes a lot of sense, right? So, in 1949, China was one of the poorest nations on earth. Do your research. Today is the world's second largest economy, worth over $18 trillion. Mark my word. $18 trillion. Do your research. Don't take this my word for it. China lifted 800 people out of poverty. in a single generation. The greatest anti-poverty achievement in human history. From zero to the world's largest manufacturer, China now produces 28% of all global manufactured goods. That's a lot. For all global manufactured goods. China has built over 40,000 kilometers of high-speed train. 40,000 kilometers. Some of these trains we're talking about, they run in. Yesterday, I entered one. Tomorrow, I entered another one. 250 kilometers per hour. Think about your car. Some of your cars are like 200 or 210. This train touches all the whole clock. Goes through a rock, under a lot of rocks to get there. China has built 40 kilometers and they're still building. I was seeing more bridges being built as we're passing all the villages. So China has built over 40 kilometers of high-speed rail, more than the rest of the world combined. China is home to over 150 billionaires. Not one, not two, not three, 150 billionaires from a nation that was once virtually none. There was no billionaire. Now they have 150 billionaires. In 1978, China's middle class were amongst non-existent. Today, it stands at over 400 million people. China went from no space program to landing on the moon and Mars within one generation. So this is it. In 1949, the world called China the sick man of Asia. Today, China is the financial spine of the entire global economy. Not just one, an entire global economy. They did not wait for permission. They did not wait for aid. They simply decided and they built. Africa has more resources, more youths, and more potential than China had in 1949. The only thing missing is what? You and me. That's the only thing missing. We're going to learn from them, and I believe that after today, you'll be inspired by the Chinese story or the Chinese story, and we can make the most of it. So let's learn from the Chinese forefathers. There's these two names are striking. Do your research on them. Chairman, I hope I pronounce the name well. Is called Chairman. Chairman Mao Zedong. The Zedong is spelled Zedong, and his name is spelled Mao. Chairman Mao Zedong and Comrade Deng Xiaoping. So Deng is spelled Deng, and his last name is spelled Xiaoping. I'll take that name again. Chairman Mao Zedong and Comrade Deng Xiaoping. These two people, I'm not saying there are no other people, were instrumental to what China is today. Do your research about them. So I'll touch a little bit about them as we learn a little bit from them. Chairman Mao Zedong founded the People's Republic of China in 1949. United a broken, colonized, fragmented nation through vision, ideology, and mass inspiration. Comrade Deng Xiaoping took leadership from Mao, transformed China from a poor agrarian nation into the world's second largest economy through pragmatism and bold reform. Two very different men, one unstoppable mission to inspire a civilization to rise. Two different people, but they had a common vision to inspire civilization for their people to what? Rise. They were intended to, their goal is to inspire their people, to get them to rise. And it's still happening up till now. They're still rising. So these are some of the lessons we can learn from them. Mao inspired a people with a vision bigger than themselves at the time. Mao didn't just lead an army, he inspired an entire civilization to believe in itself. That's one thing I've seen. China, they believe in themselves so much. They are proud of their products. They consume their product before it even goes out. Their cars, they drive it a lot. Well, if you don't want to buy it, they're driving it. They don't use their phone, they're using it. China was colonized, humiliated, and fragmented. Mao said, we have stood up. Lesson that we can learn from this that your people cannot rise until someone stands up and declare it is possible. In this case, you need to stand up and declare it's possible. So those people around you, your world around you, they will never rise. So stop waiting for systems to validate you. Declare your own rising. Declare your own rising. Another thing Mao did was that his ideology is the most powerful weapon. That's one of the things he did. Mao understood that before you change a nation, you must change their what? Mindset. He invested in mass education, propaganda, and belief systems before anything else. Mindset always precedes movement. Mindset always precedes movement. You cannot build what you did not first believe. So, if you are someone that is trapped in your job or in a mental prison, you need to bear those things in mind. You need to work on your mindset. If you have not, I took a whole session talking about mindset. You go on my YouTube channel. If you're there, click on my profile. You see a section say live stream. Click on it. It will take you to search. You see a whole video on mindset and set mind. It will help you. I don't want to go say tutorial. So mindset always precedes movement. You have to have the right mindset that will now prompt you to take action. All right. Then Deng inspired true transformation, not just talk. Deng was famously quoted to have said, "It doesn't matter whether the cat is black or white, as long as it catches a mice." He was purely result driven. Ideology meant nothing without tangible outcome. Inspiration without execution is just entertainment. Your life must produce evidence. Your greatest sermon is your results, not your words. People. There's one quote I always say: don't say, don't. How do you even say it again? I'm not making reference to that quote, but people sometimes they don't watch what you say; they watch what you do. A lot of things happen by inspiration. So your greatest sermon is your result, not your words. People will learn from your lifestyle, learn from the way you're doing things, more than the things you're saying. Another thing Deng did was that one generation, it made us be like one generation can change everything one generation. It's just one generation under Deng that China lifted 800 million people out of poverty. He didn't wait for perfect conditions. He created the conditions. One generation of intentionality, inspired action, written to rewrite a bloodline entire future. One generation has changed the whole trajectory of China. Over 800 million people. So you are that one generation for your family. You need to act upon it so your family can begin to rise, your community can begin to go on to the next level and on to the next level. So from both of them, we have learned that they inspired their world by building something that outlives them. They built something that outlives them. I've said it and I'll say it again. Anybody you see, you hear of different names. They did things that were not just about themselves. Any popular person, both dead and alive, they were more focused on people. They were more focused on inspiring people, helping people, giving people what they need in the best way they can. And that's why we celebrate them today. Mao built an ideology that outlived him, then built an economic framework that outlived him. China's rise today is not built on the shoulders of both men's inspiration. Sorry, I'll take that again. China's rise today is built on the shoulders of this men's inspiration. If they had not inspired their people, where would it be today? China would have been a mockery. Maybe another person would have come up, we don't know. But the truest measure of your inspiration is what keeps growing after you are gone. You are building something. It's either you are building something or you are occupying space. So my encouragement for you is that you build things that will outlive you. Outlive you. So before China was called a sick country, colonized and broken, today, second largest world economy. The amount of people that come into this country, when you're in the airport and you just turn your back, you're the last person before you turn your back again. See the line of people that are coming into the country. On average, each one will spend at least minimum $500, $1,000, $10,000, millions of dollars to come and do one thing or the other that brought them here. I don't know of any other country that is as strategic as this country. I say to my wife that if there's any other place I want to live outside Nigeria, to be in China, because this is a land filled with consistent motivation. It's a place where I encourage people to highly come and see for yourself. Come and touch base. Come and learn. Come and be inspired. Now, today, I was out and about in Shanghai in the Bond area, and I was so inspired. You see buildings, lights, and I was shown places where Minister Mao or Chairman Mao, there was a grass, and he was inspired for that place to be developed. Today, you need to see crowd of people just coming to take pictures and look around, just because of one man's vision. He inspired the next generation. Do whatever it is, but inspire your next generation. All right. So these are the things that we need to learn as Africans, especially those who are in the diaspora. As Africans in the diaspora or wherever you are across the world, we can learn this. We can learn from China. Africans and the diaspora are the same crossroad. Where we are as Africans is where China was in 1949. The continent needs people who have been inspired enough to return and build. I know when I discuss this thing, I'm writing in my book or I talk to people about it, some people are a bit offended by it. They don't like that word. They don't want to hear me say, come back, go back to the country. I hope that the little things I'm going to share now inspire you, or maybe if you pick up my book when it comes out, you get more inspired. Every person you inspire, today could be another Mao or Deng for their generation. So as you're listening to me, see yourself as these guys I told you about, Chairman Mao and Comrade Deng. These two people were instrumental to the China we talk about today. You can be that person that can inspire your part of Africa or wherever you come from, Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, or wherever, Senegal, or wherever. You could be that person. Or you could be, if you're watching me from here, from other parts of the world, Asia, Latin America, wherever you come, you could be that person that could inspire the world around you. But I'm going to, my context of what I'm going to share is based on African diaspora. Wherever you are, these guys, Mao, I think Deng precisely, was a diaspora. I'll touch on it. So Africa is standing at the 1949 moment of China. In 1949, China was dismissed, colonized, humiliated, and counted out. I touched on it before. The world wrote China off, just as the world has written Africa off today. But 1949 was not China's ending, it was China's launching pad. Africa is not broken. It is pre-emergence. The continent is not waiting for foreign investment, foreign aid, or foreign approval. It's waiting for its own people to come home and believe in it. To come home and believe in it. Every great civilization comebacks begins with people. Begins the moment is people stop accepting the word narrative and start writing their own story. The moment we stop listening to what the world has to say about us and start writing our own story, then those things we desire or those are our outcomes will start becoming reality. So the question you ask yourself is, are you still reading what the world is writing about you? You, that African diaspora, or that African, or are you ready to write your own story? That is the question for you. So diasporans were not meant to stay. We are not meant to stay. When you look at our forefathers, when you talk about Kwame Nkrumah, you talk about Nnamdi Azikiwe, you talk about Obafemi Awolowo, these guys were all diasporans. And while they were wherever they are, there was this hunger and desire for their nation, nationalism, come back and fix. But nowadays, we have a large portion of selfish diasporans that are pursuing, don't get me wrong, and that people are going through a lot, that are driven by survival, and nothing else can come to their mind other than survival. They can't think of anything else other than survival. 1 minute, guys. So diasporans were never meant to to be. Diaspora was never meant to be a destination. Wherever you are, it's not meant to be a destination. It was meant to be a training ground. I'll take that again. You are in Germany, you are in Europe, you are in America, you are in Asia, and you left your wherever you came from. That place where you are now, where you're settling, is not a destination. It's a training ground. It's a training pad. You went there to acquire skills, expose yourself, get capital and global perspective. So Mao studied. This guy studied. I talked about them. They traveled and they worked abroad in France. They worked in France and they came back and were built. They could have stayed in France. What would have become of their country? Every degree you earn, every corporate ladder you climb, every system you master was preparation, not the price. The price is what you build when you return. You are not sent out to be sharpened, but to sharpen to but a sharpened sword left in a foreign sheath is a wasted steel. A sharpened sword left in a foreign sheath is a wasted steel. The continent sharpened you through its struggles. It is now calling you back to cut a path for others. That's what it's calling you. So when Deng returned and began China's reform China, he didn't just build an economy. He gave, I talked about it, 800 billion people permissions to dream. Your return to Africa or to where part of it will not just build a business. It will tell every young person watching that it's possible. Whether be there that young boy in Accra or in Ghana or in Lagos or in Kinshasa who sees you coming back and building, will say to himself, we can become, if this person can come back, then there's something. So you can become that inspiration. That young girl who's watching you leave London salary and start something in Abuja or in Lagos, wherever, they'll be wondering to themselves, if this auntie or this uncle can leave and come back, then let me stay back and work on fixing this country. You will never fully know how many people your decision to return will inspire. Your return is not just a personal decision, it's a generational declaration that Africa is worth betting on. The most powerful bet you will ever make is the one your bloodline watches you make. So let us bear those things in mind. The world, our continent needs us. Stop sending money back home and calling the contribution. Stop posting about Africa's potential from your flat in London or in Houston or in Berlin or in Toronto. You know, these guys I talked to you about, forefathers of China, if they never came back, you know, they did not just transform China from a distance. They came back to make it happen. They showed up, they physically, fully, and without a return ticket, and they packed their bags and they came back to fix their country. Africa does not need remittances half as much as it needs your presence, residency, or your risk. The roads, the schools, the businesses, the institutions, they will not be built. They will not build themselves. So presence is the most radical form of what? Inspiration. Whatever you're doing, we need to start thinking of going back. There are ways to go back. My book, I'm touching on it. I've talked about it before in my previous streams. I'm writing in full in my book. You can get it. There are ways on how you can go back and fix our country. The content is not asking for your sympathy. It is summoning your strength. It is summoning your strength. History will remember. History will remember those who had the opportunity, the education, and the exposure, and they did nothing about it. History remember. I always say to people when I talk to them, they say to me, must everybody go back? Must everybody go back? I said to them, posterity will judge. Today I'm discussing to you about Chairman Mao and Comrade Deng. If they did nothing, we'll be discussing them today. There's some people that gave up or stayed abroad or whatever. Don't get me wrong, people stay abroad or so for exile or whatever, one thing or the other, or survival or asylum. Yeah. We're talking about people that went on their own voluntarily and that can come back on their own voluntarily. Now, these people are not superhuman, they were not gods. You know, you have more tools. These people did their own. When difficult, maybe there was not even internet that time. Now we have internet, AI is everywhere. You have more tools, you have more access, you have more global connection than either of those people I mentioned to you. The question is not whether Africa can rise. Its history has already answered that question. The question is whether you will be amongst those who will make this thing happen. Your name could be in the story, or it could be absent from it. The choice is yours. Every generation gets one window to be a legend. This is yours, and it will not stay open forever. Take action and do something about it. All right? Remember that China was written off, just like Africa is being written off. But the diaspora can plot, we can change that thing. We can change that story around. We need to go back and build and inspire and be the reason the next generation would never need to leave. If they must leave, it will be a choice and not they will leave because of survival. All right? As I wrap this up, I just want to share 4 things that you can do to inspire other people. Please, if you like what you're hearing, just send, let us know in the comment section. If you like what you're hearing, share this live stream so others can be a part of it. If you like what you're hearing, please follow this page if you've not followed it before. All right. And also, I want to see you guys in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are. We have over 200 people here. What are your thoughts? Share your thoughts on the comment section. Let us know what you're learning. Please, that would be much appreciated. All right. Okay. What are the 4 practical steps that I want to share with you guys on how to inspire people? This is one way that has helped me and that's helped a lot of people. Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa, Abraham Lincoln. I can go on and on. John D. Rockefeller. All these people have been inspirations to our world today. And that is studying the Bible. Bible. Study the Bible. Let ancient wisdom fuel your fire. The Bible transforms. It doesn't just informs. It transforms. The Bible can turn you from a trash to a treasure. We're not here to talk about religion. I'm here to tell you that this book can change your life. It has changed my life. It has changed generations upon generation. I did a video talking about the impact of the King James Bible on 400 years. I think one of my live streams. Check it out. Or go on the internet and type it. 400 years of King James Bible. Check the impact. You see that the Bible is not any other book. It's not an ordinary book. It's a transformational book. It's a book that helps you to succeed on earth while also telling you what life is after earth and how to get there. Okay? Bible is the world's greatest leadership and inspirational manual. Moses didn't feel qualified. David was overlooked. Esther was afraid. Yet, they inspired their nations. Spend time daily studying these men and women who dare to inspire their world against all odds. Bible is loaded with such kind of inspirations. You can never go wrong reading them. Next thing I want you to do to inspire, action to take to inspire people is connect and learn from those who have inspired others. There are many out there. You cannot inspire at a level you have never ever been exposed to. All right? Proximity to greatness is not a privilege. It is a responsibility. Seek it deliberately. Identify 3 people who have inspired movements. Study their lives. Read their books. Attend their events. And let their fire ignite yours. That's the second thing to do. The third thing I want to do is own and tell your story unapologetically. Don't look at anybody's face. People are not inspired by your perfection. That's not what they're interested in. They are inspired by your journey through imperfection. They're just like we have Mandela destroying situation. It's not glamour, but that's why we'll talk about it today. I'm sure Dangote's situation has not been comfortable, not been easy. It's not gone all well, even up to now. But we're being inspired by it. So Amanda, the way she grew up and everything, was not perfect. But today her books are shaped by those things. So what are we saying? Tell your own story. Write down your struggles, your turning points, and your lessons. Then share it boldly and consistently. People this world is ruled by stories. The movies, everything is all about stories. All right? Build something visible. The most powerful form of inspiration is what? Evidence. Deng, remember we talked about Deng, didn't just talk about China potential. No, he built the proof. Start today. Start building something now. Imperfectly, yes, no problem. Under resource, no problem. Before you feel ready, because a visible work in progress inspires more than a perfect plan that never launches. So you can be talking about what you want to do is very, very perfect. You have all the books and everything. You never do anything. You never inspire anybody. But an imperfect, when people are watching you, the little things you're doing, they're inspired by those things. Do something. Do something. Do something. That's what I'm saying. Start something. Start something. So read the Bible. I've said it. Learn from great people, people that have done those things. Learn from them. Tell your own story. Build something. These are simple steps that will give you timeless results. All right? And start today. So we're about to wrap this up. If you have any thoughts, I'm just going to quickly read some of the thoughts that have been shared. Let me know. I'll put the link up in the bio as we wrap up. We just have let's say about 15 odd minutes and we'll call this a day. Call it a wrap. If you have any thoughts, put it in the comment section. I'm going to read it out. If you want to share your join this live stream quickly and share thoughts, please please do so. Please, I'm going to put a link. I don't know where you're watching from. Use the link to join if you want to join. All right, so that's part of it. Thank you very much. That's if you want to. That's if you want to comment live. Otherwise, you could just type your thoughts down. It'll do all the job also. I'm going to read the comments out there. So if you want me to read yours, please, write it down. Okay, you can hear it. I'm just going to post the thoughts on it. Race is not a sprint or solo race. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll post a link. And just look out for the link I'm posting. If you want to join and speak live, look out for the link I'm posting. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Comments. Keep them coming, guys. I'm just trying to post the link on the channel. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming, please. Comments. All right. I think I posted a link. I'm just going to try and see if I can post it again. Thank you very much. Okay. Just want to read some of the comments as we wrap this up and saying a big thank you to all of you for always joining and being a part. Peter sent a fire emoji. Okay, thank you, Peter. Much appreciated. Julia says, Julia Ayan Poma says, what was it like to maintain these big goals and adapt a new environment? What was it like to maintain these big goals and adapt to a new environment while working as an expatriate or diaspora in the UK? Can't understand your question. What was it like to maintain these big goals and adapt to a new environment as an expatriate or diaspora in the UK? What's it like to maintain this new environment? What was it like to maintain these two big goals? Adapt a new environment. I don't really get it, but I don't know if what you're trying to say is that what's it like to have these big goals and still do what you're doing in a new environment? I don't know. But if that's what you mean, it's not what you mean. Just send another message. Let's better understand you. What I believe is just like I pointed out, every career, every job, everything you do is a stepping stone to expose you to learn and to be things. You're working in a hospital, you're getting a lot of exposure. There's healthcare problem back on where we come from. We need your help. There's so many things. So just like I mentioned to you, the founding fathers of China, they could have stayed in France and stayed there, but they came back to fix their country. We had quite a lot of people leaving to go to their country to fix it. This coming abroad is not a destination. You are here on a mission, like a sojourner. You have that mind, get what you need to do, and go back and sort your place out. All right. Okay, thank you very much for that, Julia. Thank you very much. Jeffrey Yan says best. Thank you. Thelma says fingers crossed emoji. If you can explain that, Thelma, I appreciate that. When I said, she also said, you mentioned a relay race or touch relay. How important is it to find a good mentor or guide to succeed in life? And how do you find one? Very, very important, my dear. Every coach, every star athlete you see has a coach. Every star athlete. Martina Labatulova, Serena Williams, Andre Agassi, Usain Bolt, Mo Farah, um, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, everyone. They all had a coach, someone that was mentioning them. Punch left, punch right, swing left, all those kind of stuff. No, you need to run a game. So a mentor will make a whole lot of difference, and mentor is sharpening to get the best of it. Especially because a lot of them are already walking in the shoes of where you want to be, so they can possibly guide you properly. Okay, so where do you find them? I find mine from the church. So one of the ways to know who is a good mentor is look for people that have the results you desire. Any result you desire, that's their life. That's one way to know those people. So yeah, our time is running out. Um, Madam Chi says 8831 says think generational, think lineage. Thank you very much. Cecilia A. Trevino says keep the good work. Thank you. Barbara CD MOG. Julia says when life goes tough or when people around you lose faith in us, how can we keep the fire or inspiration alive? Yes, I talked about it. If you can rewatch this live stream, watch it again. Talked about the things to do is to read books, read the Bible. The Bible will keep your faith on fire constantly. You need to also. I talked about what are those points I talked about. Let me just talk about. I thought we had touched it again. I talked about learning from other people. Stay close so you can get inspired by them. I also talked about telling your own story and being unapologetic about it. And I talked about building something, doing something. As you're doing it, you're getting more inspired. I don't know if that helps, Julia. And thank you very much. Next thing is Barbara CD says, what would be your first special advice or the core message for those watching this live today and feeling frustrated for some reason in life? To be honest, whatever it is that is frustrating you, I don't know what it is. I don't know what your particular situation is. It'd be good to have a better context of it. But what I can say to you is that whatever you're going through is not your final bus stop. I'm sure you have gone through things in the past, and you thought it looked as if your world was going to end. But look at where you are today. So what those things that you're going through, the Bible tells us that it shapes us and makes us better people, right? So whatever you're going through, speak to somebody, get counsel, get advice. But I just want to say to you that if it's not going to kill you, it's going to make you stronger. You're going to get better at what you're doing. I hope that's very helpful. All right. Next point is from hold on, sorry. Next point is from sorry guys. Next point is not going up. Let me see. Okay, it's going up. Okay. Madam Chi said, greatness is a relay race. It is not a sprint or a solo race. Thank you very much for that. Very much appreciated. Rodney, oh my Lord, says, you talked about leaving a generation legacy or inspiration for future generation. What should we do now to instill this sense of responsibility in the younger generation? A lot of it comes by them learning from you. Like I talked about, people will do more of what they see you do than what you say. So you need to act the things that you want them to do, and they'll start learning it. So how you can instill this sense of responsibility to the next generation is that you intentionally have to start teaching these things. Start teaching these things, teaching values. Now, these days, people are driven by entertainment, celebrity chase, live streams. Okay, look at it. We're live streaming. There's 200 people here because we're talking something educational. If we were to be a live stream where we're doing something fun or something, don't get me wrong, I don't want to throw a hit on anyone. You might see 1,000 people there, 5,000 people there, 10,000 people there, things that maybe have no substance, no value. So we need to start having value reorientation for people to start appreciating things that help. So whoever it is that you have under you, your children, begin to realign their values what do you call it, beliefs, so that they can be able to take upon responsibilities like what you're talking about and help for the next generation. Okay? Thank you very much for that question, Rodney O'Malon. Very much appreciated, right? Next one is from Afafa. He said, right, thank you. Paul Akien, he says, you wrote, your daily choices are already a sermon. How can an ordinary person inspire those around them through their small daily action? Yes, so all these things come with honesty. Be a man of integrity. Be a man of your word, a woman of your word. Yes, that's why I say read the Bible. The Bible gives a lot of all this I just said now is from the scriptures. Bible says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Let people know you for being an upright person, someone that people always depend on. So thank you very much for that question, Peter Akiena. Very important. So Tom Zina sent a fire emoji. Jeffrey L. Yena says, how are you, sir? I'm doing great, and thank you very much for asking. Peter says, hello, sir. Otto Freddy says, superb. And Tom Zina says, best of luck. And on and on and on and on and on and on. And I know that we have learned so many things today. And a big shout out to everyone that has sent a comment. Please always send them coming. Always get them coming. Always get them coming. Always a blessing. Thank you very much. All right. Now, as we wrap this up, we have just very few minutes left. Remember, guys, this is just me saying a big thank you to all of you. Don't take anybody for granted. I don't assume that you could be so anywhere doing anything. Even me myself, I could be sleeping. It's let's see what it is now. It's 3 a.m., 3:22 a.m. in China. I should be in bed, but I'm just here to share a thing or two about. Thank you, Ikea. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Much appreciated. So I could be sleeping, but I'm here to keep to sharing these things and to be a blessing to you guys. All right. Okay. Don't forget, just saying a big shout out to everyone that works in my team. A big shout out to all of you, my PAs, my special assistant, my social media manager, my and the guys that deal with the flyers, podcast editors, whatever you do. Thank you. Thank you to my wife and to my amazing children. They're back where they are. Thank you. Thank you to my friends, mentors, colleagues. Thank you. Please share this live stream, share this so other people can learn from it. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section, very much appreciated. Please let us know your biggest takeaway and let us. You can also watch this as a replay, all right? You can watch a replay of this. Thank you very much. Next Sunday, we'll talk about extraordinary. And I hope that we're going to learn a thing or two from that. Okay? Very, very good. Remember, you can download my free ebook, my paid ebook, and the waiting list for my next ebook to be out soon. This live stream is sponsored by The Hair You Love. It's spelled D for Delta Hair, then U for Umbrella, L for Lima, U for Umbrella, V for Victor. D Hair You Love. The Hair You Love. Okay. What do they do? Premium wigs, 100%. Send them a DM and they have it. So just the same way, type that name on Instagram, you see their name and contact, you can get up to them on Facebook, on TikTok. D610 Homes, we do property investment in UK, property investment in Nigeria, and same thing. Service accommodation in UK, service accommodation in Nigeria. If you got cash and you don't know what to do with it, send us a DM and we can work something out. All right. Love Family Podcast. We have episodes coming up. Please always check on the platform for different episodes and learn and be inspired consistently. All right. I know I've learned a thing or two. This is just me saying a big thank you to all of you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for always sharing. Thank you for always being a part of this. And a big thank you to all of you. All right. As we wrap this up, just me saying, don't forget, pass the baton. Pass the baton. Greatness was never meant to be kept. It was meant to be passed on. All right. Someone is watching. Someone's watching your actions, your choices on a daily basis. And they're already a sermon, whether you agree or don't agree. Next thing is what? Playing small is foolish and selfish. Every time you shrink, you delete a chapter from someone else's story. Okay? The last thing I want to share is that build for generations. Don't build for yourself. What you express today becomes wealth for people you never meet. You will never meet. Okay? Remember that I do this to stir up to challenge your spirit man, to bring the best out of you. So that just like the Bible says in Ecclesiastes verse 7, the princes will be riding on horses and those that are on the ground will be on the ground. All right, that is my own advice to you. So thank you very much for taking our time. This is me saying that whatever you do, remember that the wise always invest. Invest in whatever will make you be an inspiration to the world around you, and you can never go wrong. This is me saying peace, Udo, and I'm out. See you same time Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. God bless you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.